They just disbanded the housing committee, which had been charged with overseeing or working on affordable housing. And they kind of handed that baton off, the first selectman did, unofficially to the capital planning committee, which I don't think they took the baton, is my understanding in some conversations. So is P and Z the one that's supposed to be leading this planning regarding affordable housing? And
No, and that's actually a common misconception is that the P&Z Commission, especially coming up, one of our main priorities is going to be writing the new decade-long plan of conservation and development document, which guides the decision making. So there's often a misconception, and when I've spoken to people in town, they'll say to me, "Oh, you're running for P&Z. Well, why can't I get a shed or why can't I get a garage?" And things like that. And it opens up the opportunity for further conversations. I think that a lot of folks think that we are the commission that actually sits around and discusses the plans and the developments. But what it actually is that developers will come to us and we really, again, nuts and bolts, we take the developer's application, cross-reference it with our plan of conservation and development, have a discussion as a commission, and then determine whether or not we move forward. Unfortunately, I think that the current process, as I've said before, has been very blockaded and gate kept, and there hasn't been really clarity on who does what. And I think that that's part of the problem is that our town, our community has a vast misunderstanding of what the P&Z folks do. Very candidly, again, when I've said I'm running for P&Z, folks will say, "That's bold, that's brave. No one likes P&Z now." And so I think that there's a lot of community education and knowledge sharing to do really about what P&Z does versus what they don't do. That said, I think there's an opportunity with this, with the pause on the contract for our zoning update. I think there's an opportunity to potentially look at how it's coded, how it's codified to see if there's opportunity for change there at the zoning regulation level.